Alrighty. So, quick video on income, consumption, savings, multiplier, marginal propensity to consume, and all the fun stuff. Okay, so we're going to look at consumption and savings, right? They are determined by disposable income. Okay, there's a direct relationship. As disposable income increases, consumption and saving increase. They may not increase by the same percentage as they go up, because the more money you get, the more money you start to save. But they do go in the same direction. We have what's called the saving schedule, which is disposable income minus consumption. And we must always be aware that there is the possibility for dissavings, where we spend more than our income. All right, so if we go back to the consumption graph for a second, you have your 45-degree line, and you have your consumption schedule. There's a $5 billion when the consumption is below the 45-degree line. There's savings. When the consumption line is above the 45-degree line, there is dissavings. You can ignore the graph on the bottom. Okay. The marginal propensities. So we have marginal propensity consumed, which is a portion of a change in income consumed. You're given $1,000, you spend $300 of it, your marginal propensity consume is 30% or 0.30. Okay, what you don't spend, you save. So if your marginal propensity to consume is 0.3, then your marginal propensity to save is 0.7. Okay, so it's change in consumption over the change in income for MPC, or the change in savings over the change in income for MPS. MPC plus MPS should equal 1. These are all important because if there's an increase in investment, what will cause us to move along the investment line are changes in interest. As interest rates become cheaper, firms are more likely to spend money on capital and tools because their return on that investment will be greater because of the lower interest rates. Now that's a movement along the investment curve. How do we shift investment? One of the ways is for business taxes to get cut, okay? Maybe technological changes. Stock of capital goods on hand. If there are less capital goods on hand, you may have more likely to build more capital and things like that. If you want, remind me to give you an example about the dot-com era to explain stock of capital goods on hand. All right, then planned inventories, and the favorite of all, expectations. If firms expect things to be better in the future, they will invest more in capital today. I do not have to say investment in capital means firms buying tools and machines, right? Okay, shifting to the right is an increase in investment demand. Shifting to the left is a decrease. All right, the exciting multiplier effect. The change in spending, a change in spending changes real GDP more than the initial change in spending. Right, so if you spend $100 and the multiplier is 5, it will turn into 500. The multiplier is equal to the change in real GDP over the initial change in spending. Okay, change in GDP is equal to the multiplier times the initial change in spending. What's the connection between multiplier and MPC? The multiplier and MPC are directly related. The larger the MPC results in a larger increase in spending. The multiplier and the MPS are inversely related. Large MPS results in smaller increases in spending. The multiplier is gotten by 1 over 1 minus MPC. Or to simplify, 1 over MPS. All right, that should be enough on that. Have a good one.